Welcome, everybody.
Hey there.
Hello. Welcome to Tuesdays with Audra, where we get to sit down and have a chat with individuals and business owners to get a better understanding of what they're doing on the day-to-day to work through the challenges of their business. My name is Audra Fournier. I'm a life and master business coach and just a curious person. And I always wanted to give a thank you to Chrissy Souter. She's going to be in the background making sure that we get your questions answered. Thank you, Chrissy. Today we have with us Tom Patterson, just a phenomenal person, business owner, team leader, and I can't wait for you guys to really get a better understanding of who he is. So thank you so much, Tom, for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and bringing me on. I'm a big fan of yours and what you do and all the stuff you do for our community and other people. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you. So if you'll give everybody out there in Facebook land a better understanding of who you are and your business and kind of the background there and why you got started.
Sure. So my name is Tom Patterson. I'm an Allstate agency owner in Tallahassee and in Jacksonville. We started our business from scratch, meaning that when we started, we didn't have any customers, and we did that in 2012. And then we've rapidly grown our business to a second location in Tallahassee, and then ultimately a third location in Jacksonville. All of those agencies combined makes our agency probably one of the largest Allstate agencies in all of North Florida, which really allows us to help our customers in a very unique way, which I'm really proud about. So anytime you hear the word insurance, obviously that's something we can do. So auto, home insurance, and we've got 26 other home insurance companies other than Allstate that we work with, boat, motorcycle, ATV, motorhome, jet ski, flood, landlord, commercial insurance, life insurance, which I'm really, really passionate about, and then retirement stuff. So, you know, your life after you're employed, retirement IRAs and annuities and college saving plans for your kids, and different investments. I like to spend a lot of my time working with my clients to make sure that their retirement is safe just as much as their belongings are safe. Really makes us unique. So we love what we do. We're excited that we get the opportunity to do that. Before I started with Allstate, my background was in the automotive industry. So I've been working with cars pretty much all my life. Now I insure them mostly, but before I was running car dealerships. So I was able to take a lot of my training and thought processes of high volume employee management skills, training and hiring from that sector and move it into insurance. And it's been a great fit, and it's allowed me to, most importantly, work where I believe my purpose in life is, working in my purpose. So it's not an easy job by any means, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of wonderful things when we get to work with our customers and protect their lives and make an impact with them. It's really, truly remarkable. There's days where we laugh, and there's days that we cry, and there's days that we hold hands and pray in our office and with our clients. And it's a really fulfilling business to be in.
That's awesome. I can't wait to get into the passion side of that.
Sure.
Because obviously as a coach, that's my thing. Like I want to find somebody's why and their passion. But why particularly did you choose Allstate?
So great question. When I was in the car business, I was managing body shops also. So parts and service and body shops. And working with the body shops, I worked with all the different insurance companies, Progressive, GEICO, State Farm, and all these other people. I was really drawn to Allstate just on their claims process. When the cars were coming in our body shop, the Allstate adjusters would come through, they would stroke a check, they go, hey, is it done yet? Do you need more money? Can we get it done faster? How can I help you? Versus the other companies that were trying to cut corners, not pay claims, deny claims, and use old parts and used parts and stuff like that. So I know if I wanted to be part of an insurance company, I wanted to be part of someone that was really ethical and that was going to represent and help our customers the best way possible. So I leaned towards them. They took a chance on a guy with no experience, and it's worked out really well for both of us. And more importantly, with Allstate, it's allowed us to work inside of our community. I've been on several boards of directors, local companies, local boards, nonprofits. I've been the school advisory council president of my local elementary school for like 7 years because of that. And that's been really exciting to make those impacts in our community, working with nonprofits, and being a leader in that space has just been very valuable to me. And, I want to be known just as much for doing stuff like that as I am for being an Allstate agent. And Allstate also supports me. They'll put money behind that to encourage me to do that, which is great to have their support when I ask them for it.
That sounds like a great company. And it's a very unique place to come from, working on the other side of those claims and all of that stuff, working on the car side, as opposed to just choosing an insurance company because you like the write-up and then going into that field. It's great to have that as a customer, or as a potential customer, to have that understanding that that's why you came into that particular company, because of the relationship and the understanding of their processes.
Yeah, and one thing, so for me as a business owner, when I train our agents, and we have like 11 agents that work in our company and we're growing, whatever it is, and you've probably touched on this many, many times, it's important that your clients know why it is you do what you're doing, why you're passionate about it, what that is. And then can you convey that in a 30-second, 45-second window, so they understand that you have experience and you're passionate about it. People don't necessarily buy insurance or buy a product necessarily because they want to. It's you. They're really doing business with you. So can you tell them that, what your why is, why you're passionate? Is it on your face? Can they hear it in your voice when you start talking about it? That makes a huge difference when we have new prospects and new clients that we work with. And in the car business, I would tell people all the time, if they're not your friend, don't start. So become friends with them first, show them why you're passionate, and then start the process with them. And a lot of us skip that step. I think we go straight into the numbers or straight into my prices versus their price. We're successful because people understand why we do what we do and how passionate we are. And then I hire people that can do that.
Right.
So,
and which kind of leads us into kind of your passions and the building of others. But I just wanted to what you just said, I just had a fantastic conversation with somebody the other day, that the product or service that you sell is simply a byproduct of the relationship that you have built thus far. We are all in the relationship business, and being able to openly discuss what our passions are, what our purposes are, what drives us, what our why is, to be able to discuss that with our clients and our customers in an effort to build that connectivity is so important. And so I think so many business owners forget to relay that stuff, forget to talk about those things.
And to do it in a way that's natural. Right.
Yes.
So
Not just like, I'm not shoving this down your throat. Like,
yeah. Like if I'm a manager, I tell my employees, hey, make sure you convey your why, which has become one of our industry's biggest buzzwords, right? Tell them your why.
Right.
Customers can feel that, right? Hi, my name's Tom Patterson. My boss told me to tell you what my why is. Like, it's just, that's not going to work, right? So it has to be natural.
Yes.
And things people, I mean, we know when we make mistakes or when we pause or things don't work perfectly or it's not polished, people will respond more to that because it's authentic than when something's corporate and polished and this is the way it's done.
Yeah.
The trick is really being so comfortable in your own skin that you're able to do that and make that transition.
Yes. I know that you are an avid reader as well as very self-introspective and really self-aware, and you're always learning and educating. How did you get to that space where you understood that this was part of your self-development as a leader, as a business owner, and as a member of the community.
So you said unfiltered, right? It's unfiltered.
Yes, as unfiltered as you are authentically comfortable with being.
Yeah, okay. Disclaimer. So when I got my first big job in the car business, my father, who's my hero, who's my mentor, and probably the smartest person I know, he maybe has a 5th grade education from Scotland. But he's risen to the top of the car business and works with dealerships all across the country with one of the biggest car dealership groups. So I got my first big management job in the car dealership business, and I was like, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing. I've been faking it. They gave me the job, and I need to figure out how to work with this stuff. So he said, fine, come over to the house. And I came over to the house, and I was expecting him to go, okay, this is what the first 5 things you have to do, and look at the statements and look at the bills and the expenses. And that's not what he did. He slid over this huge box. And he said, son, I know you have questions. I know you're nervous. I know you're anxious. But what you need to do is read these books in this box. So, and I don't have a formal education. I never graduated college. I went to several colleges, but I don't have any degrees or anything like that. But the education in that box of those books that he bought, purchased, and read was the catalyst for me. I just kind of dove into that. That was my real education. And that's kind of given me a lifelong love affair with continually self-help books and podcasts and learning more and more about different businesses and how to become better. I think our true education really comes when no one's making you do it and there's no expectation for it, but you have the desire to keep growing. My story is never not written yet. We're going to keep moving, keep expanding, and keep growing. And all of my things in the past have brought me to this point now where I truly think I'm working on my purpose for my next adventure. It's going to be something that is really exciting because I've been building towards it and I didn't know it. But then when God moves inside you, the antenna goes off and you have to listen to it. And so I'm really excited about our next phase of our businesses and where we're going.
Margaret Rose's parents are from Scotland as well.
Great. Yeah, my dad's is from Glasgow, Scotland, and then my mom's from Jamaica. So I'm Jamaican and Scottish. It's a weird, strange thing. Yeah.
Do you remember what a few titles from the box of books that your dad gave you that you might throw out to others that want to start in this direction?
More authors. So all the Zig stuff, Zig Ziglar's, John Maxwell, Ken Blanchard. The 1 Minute Manager was probably the first book I read and most impactful. Who Moved My Cheese? Peaks and Valleys was a great book. More recently, books like everything that Malcolm Gladwell does is fantastic. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell is my favorite book. His new book, Talking to Strangers, is probably the most current book for today's environment, what's going on in the social atmosphere. Very, very important. I would read that. And then another one, Extreme Ownership. That's a newer book. I would recommend people read Extreme Ownership. Take ownership of what is going on in your world, not outside influences. I had a car accident. Someone hit me in the back of my car, and it happened at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was just sitting on a traffic light and got hit from behind. My back was screwed up. And I thought that was that person's fault. But taking extreme ownership to me would mean if I got up early and made it to the office at 8, that would have never happened. I got to do better. So things like that, how do you take full extreme ownership of your situation? So there's tons of books out there and podcasts, but you got to just get going. And really start, opening those pages.
Start somewhere, anywhere. Take the first step, right?
Yeah.
Even if it takes you 6 months to read the book because you got to read it over again.
That's the best, do it. I know life is difficult and hard, and it's a lot of things going on, but time management and balance is important. And I think if you carve out those times for non-negotiables, right? I have 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes a week that I'm going to commit to reading this book, or 3 times a week I commit to working out for my health, whatever it is, and then schedule around that, you'll be successful.
Again, taking ownership, right? Taking ownership of your time, taking ownership of your responsibilities, and your own personal growth.
Yeah.
To take that as part of our self-love. So that obviously impacts the way you are as a leader, and kind of your choice of who you want to bring into your company. What are some of the things that you look for when you are, growing your company and building your teams and things like that? I think it's really important for companies that do want to hire, and also understanding who they are as a leader. So can you kind of talk on that? Otherwise, I'll just keep saying things.
I primarily don't put a lot of stock in, in our business and what we're doing, in someone's degree level or how much college or experience that they have. That I look for people who can communicate, who have compassion, and I have some interview questions that kind of unlock those things, and I'll always look for that. I prefer no insurance experience if I'm hiring for my insurance company. I want to be able to show them how I do it, and then them kind of be kind of carbon copy clones. It's harder for me to, if I had the old Men in Black pen where you could just zap them and reset them, that would be so much easier, and then be like, hey, this is how we do it. But sometimes you come in with some bad habits, and if you're going to learn some bad habits, I'd rather them be my bad habits, because I understand those, than someone else's. So I look for people who have, I've hired people in personal training. One of my most successful agents ever was a Domino's or a Pizza Hut delivery guy. But I didn't hire him because he was delivering pizzas. I hired him because in his spare time, he was leading youth community groups at his church. He was getting and reaching people the gospel at a university. And I'm like, dude, if you can reach people through Christ at a university, you can sell insurance. That's no problem. You'll be able to explain.
You can do anything.
Yeah, you're fine. You're hired. Come on. And he was great. He became one of my office managers. So, just kind of thinking outside the box, and looking for the traits that you want to see your best people have, and then research, find out what the best questions to unlock that potential, really are. People lie to you in interviews.
Yeah, well, they do their best to put their best foot forward.
Correct. Yeah, they hopefully as truthful as possible. But I think I'm a good leader, a good boss. I don't want to be a boss, but a good leader can determine if that's the right fit. And I'm big on culture, right? So
yeah, and Margaret Rose actually has a question in regards to that. In training your staff, do you offer them your reading list or even provide books?
Yeah, I do. So it depends on if it's customer service or sales. I don't want to burn them out too much. So I'll offer them little tidbits, and say, this isn't required, but you should read this book. It's worked well for me. This is how I learned these concepts. And when we go forward, I think our insurance space is so rapidly changing, with change, and it's really happening quick right now. We always recommend 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿, if they haven't read it yet, because it's going to get moved quickly. So yeah, I do have a small reading list that I start them with, but I like to see where that goes for them. Right. I kind of get them started on that path, and they become addicted to what that looks like. Then they're doing it on themselves, which is, to me, that's success. Yeah. When they can now start enriching their own lives with what they feel passionate about. That's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so in the vein of reaching out into your community and helping your community grow, tell us about your new project, your new endeavor.
Sure. So I can't believe I haven't mentioned this before, but as a married husband with 4 kids, that's my main job. That's my main responsibility.
4 kids.
4 kids, ages 5 through 12, soon to be 13, about to have a teenager. So
busy man.
Yeah, but with all of these things that's happened with COVID, our political climate, the social unrest that's happened throughout this summer, I fully understand there's 8 eyeballs looking at dad. How are you going to handle this stuff? What can you do? How do we fix it? How do we make people love each other? And how do we come together as a community? And I said, son, I don't have the answers, but I'm going to pray to a God that does. And hopefully he'll move me in a direction that makes sense. So I've done that. And one of the things that popped up through that process was I wanted to make a donation. I wanted to work with nonprofits that were hurting, that people were not giving to currently because of COVID and the situation with the economy. I wanted to stroke a check. Like, here's 10 grand for this nonprofit. But then if I do that, now I'm broke and I can't sustain it. So my focus said, how do I move it to something where I can sustain those donations? How do I keep it going? So what I decided to do was do what I do, is just create a business. So I wanted to create a business that can move 100% of its profits to other nonprofits and help them. So I'm really good with working with our partners in our community and building teams. So what we started to do was we launched Zoom Mortgage, which is a brand new mortgage company based out of Tallahassee, Florida, servicing all of Florida. And we're hiring right now to build that out. The people that work for us will get paid really well, high compensation, can work from home and do all those great things. But the profits that company will make next year, 100% of it's going to be donated to local nonprofits that can help our situation, build our communities back better and stronger. And I'm really excited about that. I have a personal goal of being able to donate $1 million next year through that company. So the opportunity is fantastic. I'm really, really excited about it. And like
That's
I said
amazing.
before, everything I've gone through has built my situation up to this. And I feel this is where my purpose is. I feel like, working together with our community and being able to support them really, because that's where real change happens. It's not sharing a meme. It's not liking a post. It's not even necessarily, holding a picket sign or protesting. It takes money. It takes action. It takes a group of people committed every single month of every single day of every year to make it happen. And that requires money. So if that's where God wants me in my life, I'm going to go full speed ahead until he moves me in a different direction. But I feel strongly that we're going to be able to do some fantastic things through Zoom Mortgage, and bless the people that work for us and the communities around us.
And there's so many phenomenal nonprofits in Tallahassee that really, they just need the funds to be able to do the fantastic work that they do. So I think that being able to provide on a consistent and continual basis and feed into those nonprofits so that they can support the members of the community that need the services that they provide is really a fantastic way to go about that, as opposed to a one-time donation like you were saying. Plus, you're also providing jobs to other people within the community that are feeding that engine of giving.
Growth economy. Yeah, it's just it's a win-win for everybody. It's just when the light bulb goes off and the idea comes to you, and you just know you're in the right space for it. It's unbelievable. It's just like it's a raft going down the correct way in the river. It's just it's going. And I'm really happy about it. I'm excited. I'm doing interviews right now, so I'm talking to some great folks. My thing going to those interviews is, do you get this mission? Are you on board with what we're trying to do here? Because you can work for any mortgage company and make money. You can do the refinances, you can do new purchases, you can do all that and make money. I get that. Do you care about my community? Do you want to make it a better place? Because your profits from the real estate transactions will do that here, but I got to make sure that you get it. Like, this is
Right.
important. It's not just creating wealth. This is, it's fixing broken people. It's helping feed people. It's helping put clothes on people, putting shoes on people. It's, giving people access to, programs that they don't have. It's bigger than that. It's because at the end of the day, I don't need anything else. My family's great. We're in a good spot right now. I want to help people. When my short time here is up, I don't want them to go, Tom was a good guy that had a good family. I wanted them to understand that I really care and love other people, and I want to make our next generation better. I want to leave our world in a better place more than anything else. And I want my kids to look at me and go, you can do that. You can make money and also help other people. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
So is Zoom Mortgage officially open? Are you seeking your brokers? What kind of brokers are you looking for, or qualifications, or how can the community help you build the business so that it can then build the community?
So our website is live, 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿oan.com. We're not taking loan applications or refinance applications yet. We're still building the team out. We have all the infrastructure kind of set in place. We're just hiring these individuals. Someone interested they have to have at least 1 year of mortgage loan experience, active or inactive licensing is fine. We're looking for those people that have some experience to be a part of our launch team, that we can really get involved in what we're trying to do. And then we'll bring on some junior partners that can learn underneath our more experienced people. Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm passionate about is hiring our team members. Of course, they get our mission, but then can bring on their own team. So if you work for me as a loan officer, you'll be able to hire out your own team underneath you, up to 4 people, and you can get paid as a team leader based upon what they're doing as well. So you can earn more income based upon your team. So it's a really cool opportunity. I think so. The boss is nice. So
you don't say.
I think so. I don't know.
So if somebody has the qualified experience, how might they get in touch with you? Do they just go to contact us, or if they want to send you a resume, or I want to help you build your team, because then that means it builds the community?
Yeah. So you can go to Zoom Mortgage and contact us. You can contact me at tom@𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿oan.com. My personal cell phone is 850-242-8545. I'm pretty responsive. We called it Zoom Mortgage because we want to be fast, modern, quick, and we're going to do things in today's world, which means being a little bit more quicker.
Agile.
And that's why we're doing it. So, we want to see our community zoom forward.
Very cool. Well, is there anything else that you kind of wanted to mention to everybody out there, or any books that you might recommend, or anything that we might have left out?
I would say one tidbit. Anytime in my business that we've been kind of going through a valley where we weren't super successful, one thing that's always helped me is I've asked myself, how can I go and help more people? And I would answer that honestly, and then go do that, and then my business would go up. So I encourage you to ask yourself, how can you go and help more people, and do that. I think you'll be very surprised.
I love that. Get out of yourself and get into the community and see how you can be of service.
Yes.
Servant's heart. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for hanging out with us today and sharing your passion and your business and the future of Zoom Mortgage. And I'm so excited to see that just grow and blossom and the impact that it can make on our community. And I just thank you for all you do out in Tallahassee and Jacksonville as well. So
thank you for for having me and let me share my journey and experience. It's been a blast. I thank you so much.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Okay, well, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on Tuesdays with Audra. Get in touch with Tom. He is a wealth of knowledge, and support his businesses. And let's just see how far all of this will go. Thank you so much, and have a great day.